Hey, check this out. I know that they wronged you. I know that it wasn't fair what they did to you. Matter of fact, you don't even understand why they did it. And all you want is an apology, right? All you want is for them to say, you know what, I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. I wish that I could go back and change it. You want to hear them say, wow, if you could just forgive me, I can tell you that it will never happen again. Or, I know it was wrong what I did, but this is what was happening. This is what I was thinking, but I changed, and you have every right to be mad. You want to hear something like that. But you know what? I got to let you know. I'm here to let you know. You might not ever hear that. You might not ever hear them even say, my bad, And I know it's tough. But you have to get okay. You have to be okay with that. Because if you don't find a way to get past that, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck dealing with that pain, dealing with reliving that situation over and over and over again. And guess what? The person who made you feel that way, the person that you're thinking about, they moved on. They're moving on with their lives. Either they're stuck in their own drama, because if they haven't changed, if they're going around doing that all the time, that's affecting them as well. But let's talk about you. Holding on to that resentment, reliving the pain, the letdown, or just the confusion, Sometimes it's some things that people do to you in life. Sometimes it's almost as if someone came up and just, out of nowhere and slapped you in the face. And you're thinking to yourself, what do you do that for? What was that for? What did I do? I don't even know this person. Why they do that, right? And the person runs off and you don't see them again. They're just gone. You'll never get the answer, right? You will never know why they did it. Now imagine a person just reliving that over and over again, reliving that feeling. What do you think that do to a person? What does that do to a person, right? And that's what you're doing when you're just holding on to that hurt that the person caused you. I realize it's much easier said than done. But you have to find a way to release it. You have to find a way to get past it. Or else you're going to remain stuck. You're going to remain that victim. It's going to keep you from moving forward. Right? Some people feel like, if I could just get that person to apologize, I could be all right. I can go on with my life. I just need to hear it. It's like it reminds me of those old talk shows where the person will get a makeover and they go through all of this stuff to make themselves look beautiful, and they're stunning. They went and they lost a bunch of weight. They got really fit and all of this stuff, and all of it was just so they can pay back, or they want to reunite with that person who broke their heart in high school. Like, ooh, look at me now. And it's like, you went through all of that for that person? And then they see the person sometimes, and the person, the person is the same, or, they just fell off completely, And there's like, haha, look at me now. I look hot and you're not. That man or woman who wants to show off to the person who wronged them, or they feel like wronged them in high school, they're getting older. They're going throughout life. They're a full grown adult now, but their mind is still stuck in high school. So there's different phases of life when we're doing that same thing. We're stuck in whatever place that was, and our bodies, we're moving throughout the world. We're moving daily. We're getting older. We don't get no time back. You don't get your time back, right? That's your greatest commodity, right? So you don't get the time back, but your mind is stuck in that place, that relationship where someone hurt you. And you say, okay, well, it's not stuck there. It's just that I think about it from time to time, because we feel like we have infinite energy. That's what happens. A lot of times we feel like we have this great reserve of energy that just never runs out. And we're thinking about things. We think I got the energy to dwell. I got the energy to spend on the wrong and the hurts of the past and everything like that. I can think about that and move forward at the same time, until we're busy in life thinking about something in the past, and then something that we really want right here in the present, something that new, a brand new experience, just blows up in our face or just goes wrong. And we like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Why didn't that go right? Why didn't this new relationship go right? You met this great person. Why didn't that relationship work? You were focused on that relationship in the past, right? Why did this person leave? Well, you came in with trust issues from how someone wronged you, and you may not have really noticed it. And you're so accustomed to thinking about that hurt, hoping it doesn't happen again, and angry with that person, that energy transferred over to a completely undeserving person, a person undeserving of that treatment, should I say, right? And you may not even realize it. You're like, well, why this person don't want to be around me anymore? Why this opportunity didn't work out for me? Because you're bringing that same energy from this old situation into something fresh and new. So I'm saying to you, don't hold your breath waiting for this person to come around and give you the apology. You have to find a way to say, I'm at peace with not ever hearing that from that person. I have to release it. I have to let it go. There's some wonderful experiences out there that's waiting for you. And let that overpower, let that light shine through the darkness of your past. All right, so think about that going into this next year, going forward. Don't let your past hold you back. All right, that's all for this time. Take that with you. Y'all be well. Peace.